Today, we're talking about 5 reasons you should buy a Chromebook. Let's get into it. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Adrian Reddix, and today we're talking about 5 reasons you should consider buying a Chromebook. Way back when Chromebooks first came out, they weren't the best or most reliable. You had to have a reliable, constantly on internet. And the apps and things for it weren't really there. It wasn't a really fleshed out platform. But over the years, they've gained more and more. 1, acceptability. 2, the variety of things you can do on it. And also the OS has become more stable. I remember when the school district I used to live in first started getting Chromebooks, I was friends with one of the board members and he asked me my opinion, and this was 2012, and I was like, oh, that was a horrible decision. Why would you do that? And for about 2 years, they struggled with them. But in those 2 years, they started getting better and better and better. And now everybody loves them in that school district. The first reason you should consider a Chromebook is cost. Cost is such a big factor when it comes to buying a complete computer system. The starting cost for a decent Windows machine is going to cost you at least $400. Maybe $350 in that range. For a Mac, of course, like for a MacBook Air, you're spending at least $1,000, and that's for a base model. So the cost of entry, or the barrier to entry, is much lower on the Chromebook. You do have some Chromebooks that are $700-800, but they have features like 32 gigs of RAM, a fingerprint sensor, some weird things that if you don't absolutely need them, it's a waste of money, because you can get a nice, very nice Chromebook for around $250, $260. They go a little cheaper. You can get some for $180 and even cheaper renewed. The second reason you should consider buying a Chromebook is ChromeOS. ChromeOS has come a long way. It used to be a very clunky, non-responsive operating system, but now it's very clean, it's very modern, and it flows very well. It's very easy to learn. It's very intuitive. Everything, it makes sense. 2, it's clean, and I know that doesn't really mean much when it comes to it's clean. What does that mean? The design of ChromeOS lends itself to not having you feel frustrated, if you understand what I mean. Like some designs like Windows, if you're not careful, can get frustrating because the design isn't as refined. It's a great design, but it's not as refined. Linux, even more, depending on what distro you have. If you don't have a distro that's specifically designed for people who aren't as tech savvy or things like that, Linux can be extremely frustrating because none of it really makes sense. And Mac does a good job of this. Making the user experience more seamless and less frictionless is a great reason as far as the Chrome OS to have this. Also, you have access to Google Assistant. And I don't know if you use any other voice assistants, especially Siri. Siri is not good. Google Assistant is really good for people who like giving voice commands or like having Google Assistant help them. It is really good for that. So having Google Assistant is a major plus when it comes to the Chrome OS. Number 3 is security. Why is that important? So if I'm a hacker and I want to cause the most damage to the most computers possible, what am I going to write a code for or a virus for? Is it going to be for Mac? No, Mac only has about 10 to 13% of the market. So no, it wouldn't be Mac. Would it be Linux? As far as non-enterprise Linux, that's a very small number. I'm going to say somewhere about 5%, right? Or am I going to write it for Windows? Windows has the biggest footprint, so I'm going to hit Windows hard. And that's something that's in favor of Chromebook because it doesn't have as wide of a footprint as Windows or even Mac. I'm not saying hackers don't write code for it. What I'm saying is if I want to hit as many people as possible, I'm writing code and viruses and all these other things for the systems that people have. So that's one thing going in favor as far as security. You also have Google's built-in virus protection, which they do keep up to date very regular, and it's pretty robust. So that's a really cool thing about having a Chromebook as far as that aspect of security. Another big thing is Google Family Link. And what that is parents can set up controls for their kids so they don't get to things that they don't want them to get to, like unsavory websites or spending too much time on a particular app, or just trying to have basically digital rules or parental control for your kids, which some websites nobody should be on. And to help them and to protect them from unsavory characters on the web, it's a really good thing. Also, it kind of sandboxes. So what does that mean? So you can have multiple people on one device, right? And that your experience doesn't bleed on to somebody else's. So whatever you do on your account, let's say if I like to watch Sniper Wolf on YouTube. When somebody else logs on, they're not going to see that I like to watch Sniper Wolf or whatever, Lanky Box. My son loves Lanky Box. It's not going to affect what somebody else's does. Most operating systems do that. It's not something that's unique to Chrome, but it does have that. The fourth thing is having access to Google's ecosystem. And when I say Google ecosystem, you know what I mean. All the things that Google has that comes with having a Chrome OS. Things like, let me get my list out. Google Docs. You have Scholar. Scholar, if you don't know what it is, you can look up different scholarly articles and different peer-reviewed journal articles or different things for research, not only on the college level or the collegiate level, also on the high school, middle school level. So whenever you're writing reports or you just want to do research on a certain topic, this helps tremendously. Google Earth, of course. I like to walk around different neighborhoods, especially my neighborhood, and see all the photos of how the neighborhood used to look, or because they'll stitch a bunch of photos from yesterday all the way to 8 years ago. And I like to see how things look, but that's just me thing. But you can use Google Earth for a lot of different things. Google Arts and Culture. And what this is you go to different, honestly, it's a museum tour. You can go to see different works of arts by various amounts of different artists, not just the heavy hitters like Da Vinci and Rembrandt and Renoir, right? Google Classroom. Google Classroom was fantastic, especially during the panorama we had. It kept a lot of people engaged, and you have YouTube, of course. I mean, yeah. It's a no-brainer. YouTube is the second largest search engine, and having access to that, you can learn almost anything. If YouTube doesn't have it, it's coming. If it's not on YouTube, it's either copyrighted or it's coming, or you're not doing the search right. You have Duo, which is the Google equivalent to FaceTime. You can talk back and forth. Cross-platform, which is another great thing. Chromecast, because not everybody wants to watch their shows or YouTube videos or whatever on a Chromebook. Sometimes you want to throw it up to a TV. I'm pointing my TVs right there. Or forums. I know people use forums all the time as far as business, trying to find out who likes what. It's a very great way to collect data. And the Google ecosystem, a lot of that stuff is free. It's no pay. But if the saying is, if it's free, then you're a product. But that's neither here nor there. It is free and it helps. The fifth and final thing is the Chrome Web Store. When Chromebooks first came out, the web store was lacking. It was basically an extension store. But over the years, what happened is it got robust. People start developing for Chrome OS. And now you can find almost anything you want at the Chrome Web Store. You have Honey. Honey is, they're not sponsoring. I mean, look at how many subscribers I got. They're not sponsoring this video. I use Honey a whole bunch. I save all kind of money, but again, this isn't a sponsor. Look at the subscribers. It's not a sponsor. EasyBib. EasyBib is one of these things that my wife told me to look at because when she was in graduate school, getting citations and stuff for her papers was made so much easier with this. Office, MS Office. Anytime Microsoft develops something for another platform, you need to pay attention because they don't just do things just to do them. If Microsoft develops something for a platform, they see something in it. Okay. And Weatherly. Weatherly is a great app, especially if you need to plan your day around the weather. And if you go outside your house, you definitely need to plan your day around the weather. And a bunch of other different things that are in this store. By having a robust web store, it makes the experience of Chromebook more customizable, right? It makes things fit or tailor to you to make you have a better experience. It can fit the needs of a bunch of different people. You may need it for, hey, I'm a construction worker and I need to plan out my job and I run my company off this. You could definitely run a company off of ChromeOS. As far as it has access to word processors and spreadsheets with Google Docs and Google Slides, right? You have access to the web for whatever you need for as far as materials or things like that. You can have YouTube for, let's say it's a new technique, like a new peer system, right? That you want to know some different techniques on how to build. YouTube is a great initial source of information. You learn that and then you can branch off to wherever you need to. So as far as running a business or working from home or school, Chromebook is a great option and the web store helps that out tremendously. Have you ever used a Chromebook before? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Tell me about it below. That's it. Thanks for joining me. If you like this type of video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this type of video, give me a thumbs down and tell me why you didn't like this type of video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.